In this video, I'll show you how to create user-defined parameters for sample areas. Sample areas have a lot of built-in parameters, but you may have other information that you need to track for your project. In addition to simply storing information, user-defined parameters can be used to color the sample areas on your map and simplify the process of selecting areas for your design. If you need help creating sample areas, refer to video EA400. Let me start by loading the project file called 2-Floor Building. This file should have been loaded into your My Documents Visual Sample Plan folder when you installed VSP. I only want to work with the first floor, so I'm going to delete all the second floor sample areas and all of the lines on the second floor. I'll zoom in to see more detail on the first floor. I would like to more easily work with the rooms in this building by dividing them up into 3 room usage types: common, offices, and meeting rooms. To create a parameter, go to Edit, Sample Areas, User-Defined Parameters. Click the Insert New button. I'll change the name to Room Usage. I want the room usage parameter to contain text, so I'll use the Type drop-down list to change it. The choices are integer and real numbers, text, logic, which are true/false, and date time. I'll choose text. I don't want to have to type in the room usage for each sample area, so I'll make this a pick list by clicking the list box. Now I can enter the list values by clicking the Edit List button. I'll enter the values common, office, and meeting room. I'll click OK to accept the list, and then I'll click OK again to create the usage parameter. You see on the layer control that the room usage parameter now appears under the sample areas section. By default, all of the sample areas are assigned to the first value when you create a new list parameter, so all of the sample areas are assigned common to begin with. I want to change this room to office. One way to do that is to right-click on it to bring up the sample area information dialog. The user-defined parameter section is at the bottom. If there is more than one parameter, you can choose it from this drop list. Since room usage is a list type parameter, you change its value by picking it from the drop list. Click OK to accept the change. Now when I toggle the office setting on the layer control, that room toggles on and off on the map. Another way to set the parameter value is to change it at the bottom of the Properties window. Changing properties one sample area at a time can be tedious. There's a way to set the parameters for multiple areas at once. I'll first unselect all the areas that I want to change. Now I'll go to Edit, Sample Areas, Set Parameter Values. I can use this dialog to set any of the built-in or user-defined parameters based on a condition. So I'll choose to set the room usage to office for any sample area that's not selected. In other words, where the selected equals false. Click OK to set the parameter values. Now when I toggle office on the layer control, all of the offices turn on and off together. I'll repeat the process for the meeting rooms. Besides using the parameter to turn the sample areas on and off together, I can use them to color the areas of my map. To do this, go to Edit, Sample Areas, Color by Value. On this dialog, the first thing I want to do is choose a color set. I'll choose a simple red, yellow, green pattern. Then I need to choose the parameter to set the color. You can use any of the built-in or user-defined parameters. I'll choose room usage. Make sure the color by value box is checked, and then click OK. Now the areas on my map are colored appropriately. Note that if I change the parameter value of one of these areas, its color is updated automatically. You can create many different parameters to work with your site in any way your project requires.